Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Good evening, everyone.
Good
Uh,
evening.
as the stars move across the sky, the signs of times have come and gone. Things that were and shall not be bleed across the world. Our two investigators have seen the horrors of the Maigo and what the cold mountains hold. Terrors beyond anything that anyone could understand. But where two went, only one came back. The cold drench of the winter took over the entire state, and now his sight is on the world, for we are all players on his twisted theater. Ladies and gentlemen, have you seen the yellow sign? So, last time when we played, Titus Andromeda kicked the bucket, died. His spine was broken. Ooh, we already have one starting with the yellow sign. Cat, the dreams have been strange. Between the winter, you can feel the music running through your brain, the strange notes, the songs of the dead dreamer. You've been dreaming about a strange mannequin that you just see from the outside. You see a woman putting clothes on the mannequin and quickly breaking its neck. And then everything goes into darkness. And then you cannot move, not an inch of your body. Everything's still as you feel muffled. It's impossible to scream, it's impossible to move. As suddenly you see that woman that you saw on the store is yourself, and that the mannequin is you. You just woke up after another nightmare. But you know that today is gonna be Titus Andromeda's funeral after his recent departing. Only you know the truth of what happened to him. Only you know what happened in that dreadful mountain. And that's a secret only you will take to the grave. People asked, some said, oh, he went camping there. Others said it was an accident. Others said he went hiking and he tripped and broke his spine. Some even believe that his body remained motionless for hours, for days, trying to scream to save himself, but having a mouth and not being able to scream, being paralyzed from the waist down, feeling your
I'm glad I
entire
get to
body.
live through the death again.
What can I
Thank
say
you very much,
except
sir.
you're welcome? So, the funeral is the church is it's not completely empty, but it feels empty. There's whispers around you, people not saying much, just whispering. The words of the preacher become distant, silence. Well, you just see this coffin. They didn't have they didn't even made the coffin with an open lid because nobody wants to see a dead man dreaming. Words like even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death become silent and further away. And you know that that man that you met, whom you started to explore the dark corners of the earth, lies there, dead and dreaming, or awake and remembering. What do you do?
I'm the one who's awake and who remembers, but well, he wasn't kidding when what the cat dragged out of that situation. Ever the skeptic in life, and now so he was proven wrong at that last moment.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna walk up to say some words.
All right.
Hello, everybody. My name's Castor Belvedere. Titus Andromeda. A silly name. You know, his real name was Ricky. Little Stick, we used to call him. sometimes sticky. He was a good friend. He was terrible at drinking gin. That's why he switched to rum. You know, I based one of my characters in one of my almost best-selling novels, The Mind Hath Fallen, Caesar, after him. He was a good friend. Rest in peace.
There's silence. The people who go there, the only people you notice in the place are maybe two, maybe three souls other than you two. Besides the preacher, he didn't have a family really. Only a couple of students, a couple of assistants, helping to take this coffin into the carriage, and then driving it to the local graveyard, getting ready to give him.
Go ahead. I was gonna say I'm noticing Kat, and like there's not very many other people. I'm gonna walk over and introduce myself.
Well, yeah, go ahead.
Hello, my name is Castor.
Hello.
I'm just wondering.
Deeply heartening speech. I'm so sorry for the loss of your friend.
Death comes for all men. But
luckily, I am no man.
Touche. So what brings I don't understand what brings this to Titus Andromeda's funeral.
This is Catarina Taylor, Night Canary at the lounge. You may have heard of me. But Titus was, you can say, a special person. Full
That's
of
a good word for it.
curiosity, and well, I share that trait, and so we found some adventures, back in the day. But
did you help him in his skepticism crusade?
in a bit, yes, in a way.
Me and Titus, we're on the different sides of that fence. See, I although I have not seen the supernatural, I do endeavor to see it. See, for I am an author of psychological thrillers, I call them, patent pending. And I'm always on the outlook, looking out for some new inspiration, a new muse of the ghostly variety.
Well, the truth is stranger than fiction.
Oh, I do love that. That is true. I had one of my best characters said that in my book, The Gods Are Laughing, Spit in Their Eyes. Said those lines right there.
Perhaps that character foresaw this day.
You've probably read some of my works.
Perhaps.
Cast a Belvedere. My last book was almost best-selling.
Almost congratulations.
Why, thank you. I think we're going to get along swimmingly. Would you like to get some tea?
That would be lovely, yes. Something to soothe this throat.
Is anything getting weird here, Keeper?
Not really. Nothing. Other than maybe fitting.
This tea is strong.
Maybe strange, but a funeral with rain. Almost a poetry to it. Well, you guys are out just talking. You see how some of the people are starting to take the coffin down into the ground, ashes to ashes, dust to dust, and whatnot. The first shovels covering his body, covering whatever secrets lie within his flesh. As the casket only becomes darker and darker, the muddy dirt covering it and extinguishing whatever secrets, whatever knowledges he had, for he's now one with the dirt. The funeral is over. The priest checks his hand with different people, thanks the attendees for coming, as the grave diggers are now finishing the job with a small grave that says Titus Andromeda, quote unquote Ricky, and the dates of birth and death. with a beloved teacher, psychologist, went to explore the greater pastures.
Hope he
So-
believes in that.
What do you guys
I
do?
hope the old fella found some belief. That's all I gotta say.
At least he knows what happens next after whatever this life is. He'll
So-
get his answers, and I hope he's got them.
What's your plan after this?
I was gonna take Miss Cat for tea.
All right.
We're gonna dish it.
All right. So you guys go for a tea house. You know that in a couple of hours there's gonna be the reading of the will.
Oh.
So
do we think we have a shot in that?
if you roll for idea, you can also roll for that cat.
Okay.
Full roll.
39. My idea
Okay.
is 75.
Yeah. You think that knowing him, the bastard might have put you in the will.
So I roll 1d100, and my idea is 85. So I need to get that.
85 or lower.
Oh, okay. 33.
Yeah, you two, you were close to the guy, so in a weird fucked up way. So it's very likely that you guys might end up in his will.
I
So,
suppose a character of that curiosity would probably update his will often, the hijinks he gets up to.
Mm-hmm.
over
Damn.
tea, I want to say that, a little birdie told me that you might have been around the time, or around him when he did expire. Could you tell me a little bit about that? What happened?
It was a strange time. You heard about what happened in the state of Vermont?
It was a lot of snow, a lot of people died. Is that what
Yeah.
happened?
Well, we found ourselves there in a sleepy little hollow by
You
the
didn't eat
coast.
nobody, did you? Did you eat somebody? Let me get my pen.
Cannibalism is the first thing you come to?
Well, think of the story. The songstress turned cannibal. She sang a tune of meat. No. I'll get that right. I'm sorry.
Will you?
I'm sorry. So what
All
what
right.
happened?
Well,
So, yes. Well,
I
you're
dare not repeat it.
No?
well, when you're talking to him, looking through the window, you suddenly see at a distance something.
How,
For one moment,
in the tea place? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
through the window outside.
Out
Oh,
the
yeah, my
window.
bad.
The
Yeah.
reflection.
Like, yeah. You only see one thing, something moving in the distance. Something almost that moves in a strange pattern, almost like a fly. Almost like a fly made of different lights that constantly blink. And for a moment or two, the blinking lights just vanish.
Cannibal Canary. The Cannibal Canary. That's what it is. Darling, you looking out in the... Am I boring you? I am so sorry. People get that way when I start talking about my stories. Well, you were staring out there. You look like you've seen some things.
A woman of my field, yeah, I've seen a lot of things. But
You mean a singer?
I've
Huh.
just, I've been not getting as much sleep lately due to everything that's happened. So I think, I'm just a little out of it is all. Maybe some of this tea can
I don't know
help
if
me.
it's the author in me, but there's a lot of story here. I'm seeing a lot of story. I smell it. It's gonna be hard to get rid of me, Miss,
Yeah.
until I got the story figured out. I'm in between books.
Really?
Mm.
Looking for that next big
Yes,
Title.
the big story. Yeah.
Mm.
Or, the next, pulp story. Those sell pretty well.
pulp
Pulp. Yeah, pulp.
Is that
it's
like
a genre
bits of
term
fruit?
of fiction. Fiction,
Fiction.
Marijuana ate my baby. Did you see that one? That wasn't mine, but it was a friend of mine.
So
heroic logic.
That's
Hey,
a
buddy.
good. I mean, that's a good birth control method. I'll have to look further into that.
So, while you guys are talking, you suddenly feel startled. Somebody hits on the glass next to you.
Oh,
A
my.
figure with his face completely corroded by disease. He's wearing a yellowish trench coat and bags over his over his flesh. His marks reminds you of a leaper or maybe somebody who survived the war. He tapping on the window as people just looks at him. To see the two people of this diner walking outside and a couple of police officers as the man completely dressed in yellow is extending his hand at them, asking for change, asking for coin as they just guide him away.
That's a damn pity.
What? You thinking of putting him in your next story, but can't think of the catch?
Sister, you're knowing me way too well, way too quick. See? Good little bit of tea. And
I mean,
boom, you know
you're a bit of an open
I was-
book, if I'm allowed to say.
Check, please.
Okay.
No,
Just
just kidding.
I'm-
Just kidding.
No, I'm ready to leave too, actually.
Yeah.
So, you guys head to the Ring of the Well.
Mm.
As you attend this meeting with the lawyer, pretty much he says that he's gonna give you Castor half of his books, the other half of the books of the guy to you, Cat. His car, he's gonna hand it to you, Cat, because he has a car. Castor, he's gonna also hand you some of the books he was working on and the rights for those books. And among the things that you get, Cat, are the last letters that he received while he was on Vermont. And there's one letter that catches your eye.
Mm.
That's from that the stamp says United Kingdom.
I'm nervous to open this one. This can only be bad news.
Ooh, what you got there?
What books did you receive there? Maybe you can keep looking further.
Well, at one point in our dealings back in college, me and Titus thought we would start a new genre of books called children's books. And he had written one called My Daddy is a Ghost Now. And now I can see what I can do with that.
For kids, they're gonna get nightmares. Why would you do this?
They got to learn about death somehow.
So, yes, the yellow document, the yellow paper on your hand, still damp in a little bit of water with the stamp of UK. There's something about it that catches your eye, that makes you think about what happened in Vermont. Do you want to check it out?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I posted a link of the evidence. It's page 7. If it's hard to read on the bottom, I put like the actual thing so you might be able to read it properly. Yeah, like if it's like I said, if the documentation is a little bit hard to read, I made a transcription of it.
Wait one second. I'm going to show it to the audience. Did you want to read it?
Yeah.
Oh, you're going to try? Oh, go for it.
Okay. Let's see. I'm trying to find where it is located.
Oh,
Oh,
to the bottom.
wow.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, good luck.
All right, full screen. Dearest sir, I apologize for this unsolicited correspondence, but pray that you will do me the honor of reading it through and its request. This
Hold
letter
on.
comes to you as the author of the paper Basic Anxiety and Ontological Insecurity.
I'm gonna send it to you on the chat here. There's
Okay.
the full letter. Like I said, everything's on the bottom of the document, but there you go.
That's psychology. I say over your shoulder because I'm looking. That's psychology right there.
Oh, right. Thanks. I'm just gonna move further away so he's not
Okay.
there. St. Agnes Asylum for the Deranged, near Wabley, Herefordshire, Friday, 18th October 1929. Dear Sir, I apologize for this unsolicited correspondence, but pray that you will do me the favor of reading it through and considering its request. This letter comes to you as the author of the paper Basic Anxiety and Ontological Insecurity, which, if I may say so, I much admired, particularly your analysis of the work of Dr. Karen Horney. I am a consulting doctor at the St. Agnes Asylum in Herefordshire, and I'm seeking an expert opinion on how to proceed in the matter of an inmate's case. If I may prevail upon you, these are an outline of the facts. Patient W, a young man from a good line who, holding no employ, spent much of his time before his admission in private study. In the autumn of 1926, a terrible incident occurred, and W's father and sister were left murdered. W, much troubled, was committed to this asylum shortly thereafter upon the application of his brother and the diagnosis of the family physician. W.
I have it in here. Sorry.
It's a cliffhanger. No problem.
Hold on. Patient W. Hold on. Sorry, since it's too big, it doesn't let me to post everything in one go. There you go. Hold on. This matter.
Karen Horney? Was it Karen?
Karen Horney. She is Dr.
There's a whole new meaning to I want to see your manager.
Dr. Karen Horney. She has the degree. Mm-hmm. So,
yeah. I'd like to see your manager right now.
W is suffering from extended bouts of scotophobia that give him temporary but insane anxiety. This is proved treatable with medication, and I'm of the happy opinion that I may recommend his release when his period of mandatory confinement comes to an end this November. Here's the problem that arises. W's brother has been urging me to recommend his continued residence. I'm surprised our playing opposite roles in this not uncommon disagreement, and I find the stance of the family unusually rigid. I'm currently at a loss to understand a motive. I am hopeful that you will consent to an interview with me on this matter. Again, I regret this communication without a previous introduction, but my closest colleagues have not the patience for psychoanalytics that I believe to be the way to examine such cases. There are some unusual aspects here, and perhaps this might be an interesting study for you. I shall be visiting London for a few days beginning at the 28th of October. I shall be staying at the Great Western Hotel. Please contact me there should you be willing to meet. You are, of course, very welcome to being a colleague or an assistant, should you so wish. Your obliged and obedient service, Charles Highsmith. You don't say you're an author of this psychological phenomenon in psychoanalysis, do you?
Do I? I'm sorry? What was the question again?
Of what matters are your novels again? Of psychological nature?
I did go to school. My degree was in psychology, and then after I graduated, I realized I don't really like people that much. So I decided I'd turn my talents to writing. But I am a fully accredited psychologist. And what's going on here, I mean, it's not uncommon for people who want to keep someone in. But, I mean, if you wanted to go visit this gentleman, I could go along and help you with my expertise.
Yes, you mean Charles Highsmith? I, put the letter away. Well, it does say I can bring an assistant if I'm to complete Titus's maybe last will, whatever he was about to work on.
Canary. I like it.
So,
I just made a new character for myself. Yes.
Do you guys decide to travel to London?
But wow, we're going to London.
Yep.
The Great Western Hotel. You ever been outside the States there, or you've only done your travels through literary means?
Oh well, I've gone to Scotland. It was quite at Edinburgh actually. It was a great trip. I have not made it to London yet. It'll be new to me.
Let's fly.
So, since you're going to London, I'm gonna give you a couple of simple things Number one, you cannot bring your weapons because America.
Yeah,
I'll leave them in the
traveling
car.
by boat, right? Can't we just have it on us?
Yeah.
Do they really check us?
Yeah, they're gonna check you. I'm allowing you to keep the car, by the way, Jess, to bring
I
the
could
car
park
out.
it in.
Are we gonna role play getting our passports?
I've already got mine. This bird's
Next.
gotta fly.
Yeah. Remember, planes aren't a thing by this time, so only trains and cars and
Steamboats.
boats. Yeah.
We fly by the speed of the wind and coal.
Yeah.
Wow,
And the other
that's a
thing that
really large
flies
boat.
are blimps, but the humanity. Sorry. I don't think you want to fly in a blimp. That's what I'm saying. Oh, the humanity! Sorry.
I hear there's this ship, Titanic or what? No.
That was
That already
Titanic
happened.
was like an 18 something, wasn't it? 90
I
something.
think it happened like 10 years ago. I think 1910s maybe. But I'm a little shaky, but I'm always up for adventure.
1912.
Okay, yeah, so
Wow.
10 years ago.
Yeah.
About.
So
Yeah.
it's alright, the
So-
women get off first. So we've
Yeah.
learned safety since then, right? They've got protocol and life preservers.
Iceberg detectors.
Yeah.
Alright. These have happened, right? It's
Yeah.
the future. When the
So-
20s, baby.
As you travel to London, the trip is pretty much calm. There's nothing too strange. The books that you have with you, I mean, you can bring some of the books of Titus on psychology and whatnot to help you out a little bit with the
Sure.
investigation.
Yes.
When you arrive at least 2 days before, 2 days earlier. The mist of London is the first thing to greet you. The docks are full of people, constantly moving from one side to the next, constant screaming, etc., etc. You guys already had your registrations for the hotel. The hotel itself, it's a very classy place, to be honest. Top of the line, a lot of movement. You're in by the main street. Each room has a small balcony. Breakfast is always served. The streets are constantly moving with people doing their own businesses to try to survive. The newspaper boys screaming their lungs out as the city itself is a new variety of pleasure. It's a little bit hard to get used to the time zones and whatnot, but at least you know that you have at least 1 or 2 days of freedom before you meet Dr. Charles. What do you guys will do in the meantime?
We should have waited for tea until we were here with the Queen. I wonder how it is here.
Probably way better.
Right.
So, do you guys go out for a walk to explore the city a little bit or something?
Well, let's get in the sights of the old world.
Oh, by the way, the car is parked in a garage next to the hotel, so that's gonna be taken from your money. But the moment you go downstairs, you see that there's constant lights that move from one side to the next, coming from one building.
Lights.
Lights.
Yeah, lights aiming to the sky. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Let's go see what
Outside,
all the hubbub's about.
there's a group of at least 40, 50 people outside. As you can see, this massive theater, this big building, the Scarlet Theater. As people getting ready to see a new play by a group of amateurs.
We have to go. A play
Theater in London? Absolutely.
Oh,
Absolutely.
darling. Get us some tickets, assistant, will you?
Oh, yes.
The image of the play and whatnot is on page 6 of the evidence. If you want to share it with the chat.
Okay. Carcosa, or the Queen and the Stranger.
Fantastic play by
Being a fantasy in
Talmud.
2 acts.
Yeah.
I'm gonna secure us a few seats.
All right.
Lovely. Thanks. As close as you can get. With, of course, not too close.
Okay. In the roll 20, I put an image of the theater if you want to see where will you sit on. Well, that's pretty much like a general idea. Okay? So, the moment you enter, you are going to be the first viewers of this play. The place is filled with a lot of sirs and lords and other figures who are into the business. You can see that they give you a small document with the name of the actors, the cast, and whatnot. As suddenly the lights go out, the lights start shining into the crowd. I mean, from the crowd to the scenery. The first thing you guys
show.
A palace, a balcony. On a couch, once opulent and now faded and threadbare, resides the Queen Casilda. Behind her, twin sons appear on the sky, painting a backdrop. Her 2 sons and daughter. The four discuss matters of succession, although nobody names anybody by their name. The sons argue and complain, but Casilda, the mother, doesn't give them any attention. She seems to have other things in mind. Among them enters another man, an Enui, who's there basically advising her. You can tell that the female actress is perhaps better than the male actors. As the second scene happens, we can see the palace and Casilda's receiving room.
Do you know what's going on?
The queen stands at a long table. She reads out loud from a scroll, and which she names the city of Vithil, and she mentions the kingdom of Hastur, and talks of a war going against the kingdom of Alar, a war that sees no end. A child, Jewel, enters. It's unclear if it's another one of the queen's sons, although he speaks with familiarity and even bullies her. And they speak of Carcosa, a wandering dream-like city, which is a place of several unusual aspects. It appears overnight. It's either on or beyond the waters, below the palace. Hali, the towers of the city, sleep behind the moons at night, only seeing the city for its true name for once. A fifth singularity that nobody speaks of. Casilda sings a sad song about Carcosa's fate. A priest, Nautalva, enters. He eyes the child with distrust, but it seems like the queen has no power to dismiss the youth. Nautalva describes uncertainty in the city. A stranger has arrived.
Maceo has redeemed a hunch, by the way.
Ooh, hunch. Don't worry, you'll see this. Hold on. As you guys whisper among yourselves, you notice sometimes over the corner of your eye, you notice that another man enters. The stranger. His face is missing, for there is a mask. The actress just looks beyond him, looking away from him, turning her back. As he suddenly sees her, his arms lift, as you can see a strange symbol, a sigil on his chest, and the woman just collapses onto the ground. Roll sanity, both of you.
This is weird, and I read weird stuff. This is weird.
Do me a sanity roll, please.
Only in London. I had a 20.
Okay,
I gotta
and
get
you,
below,
yes?
right?
Yeah, below your sanity level.
I am below.
Okay, and you, yes?
Rolling. Not below.
Weird stuff.
Okay.
Weird stuff.
Yeah, really weird stuff.
You feel uncomfortable. There's something off about the play itself, about that symbol. As suddenly the lights go on for the intermission. Some people go to the bathroom, others look a little bit pale, some look a little bit weakened after seeing this. After the play is strange. What you can think of is that the actors don't have a rhyme or reason to their actions. Like there's a strange times between their answers where some speak too fast, some others too slow, some others talk and act in a disjointed way. Since it's the intermission, what do you guys do?
Well, I need to see the little boys' room. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Right.
I'm gonna go do that.
I'll powder up myself.
I don't know how I quite feel about this. I'll tell you honestly.
You're an author. Don't you understand, what the metaphors or similes? I don't have to paint a picture. It's your medium. I'm going to visit the powder room. Sorry.
When you go to the bathroom, you enter a stall to relieve yourself. And even when you blink, you can picture that strange sigil, that yellow sigil. And suddenly you can hear a muffled whimper. You get out of the bathroom after doing your deed, and you see that some of the people, some of the ladies who were seeing the play, some of them are sobbing and trying to fix their makeup. Others look very excited to see the rest of the play, and others look a little bit shocked. As for you, Lich, while you're taking a leak, you can hear people around you, some of them saying, "You don't understand what this play is about." Others are like, "I want to leave." "Yeah, because you don't understand art!" And they're getting more and more upset, even grabbing each other by the throat as somebody goes like, please, gentlemen, this is not the place to do this. As suddenly you hear the bells for the continuation of the play.
I make my way back.
All right.
Against my better judgment, I look at the door and I think I could just go out into the London night and walk around and with my little notebook and find new characters, but no, I'm not going to leave the canary in there on her own. Fine. I'm going to go against my better judgment.
Right. The lights turn off as everything prepares. The room in the palace has been taken by the stranger. The surroundings are severe. One by one, principals come to talk to him. Thale wheedles and threaten in order to try and gain the stranger's help in pressing his own suit for the throne. Yuoth, the second son, bargains with him to gain the support for his own claim. Camilla wants nothing. The youngest daughter, she just wants to listen, to learn something from him. But then she does not listen to his words. She speaks of Ithil troubles, the main city. Cassila starts to treat him as an enemy. But then she suggests an alliance, even a marriage of convenience between them and whatever he represents. Finally, the child comes and stands in mutely. And do me an idea roll. Both of you.
$74. That is, I believe, that is one below my idea.
I got it too.
Both of you notice that the stranger, the man with a pale mask, hasn't said a word, and his mask is unsettling. There's something off about his mask.
I don't like his mask.
He doesn't say a word as every party is trying to convince him to help them. A mask ball is taking place on the palace balcony. The guests are finally dressed. Everybody wears a strange mask, and the music is played by a small house orchestra. Even some of the extras are in the band. And it takes a moment to notice the stranger slowly sliding back and forth into the crowd, and from the crowd onto the stage. He wears a bone-white mask and moves stiffly, without any gaiety. After a while, the revelers start taking off their masks. Their eyes look bright, and their action extravagant, unrestrained. The stranger keeps his mask. And then the queen gasps, saying, "It's no mask! He wears no mask!" As she just collapses. Another figure appears that are in robes. It's not a stranger. It's a figure wearing nothing but yellow, holding a sword and a torch that emits smoke but no light. The man with a crown of sun. He talks to the queen and the priest, but he says that now they all have seen his sign. All of them must wear his mask. And in their city, their town has now become one with Carcosa. They are no longer entirely human. As the man with the crown turns to the viewers, for he says, "And now you are all my subjects, for I am your king in yellow." The crowd starts screaming as a stranger who finds himself fallen to the ground and taken by the hand of the king in yellow is taken. The audience starts clapping, some of them in silence, some of them confused, as suddenly the last lines become strange and disoriented. The curtain falls and everything goes into a riot. People and men and women punching each other, choking, some of them in catatonia. Jess, you want to leave that place.
Yes.
Your hands are shaking. You want to leave that place.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, Canary. Let's go.
He is not my king. We must leave now.
Hashtag not my king.
So, you want to try
Damn
to leave?
it! Your storyline can wait. Let's go.
No, yes. Well, no, yes. Let's get out of here, Canary.
Roll for evade. What do you guys got?
Good question.
Trying to find evade.
Evade. Is that wait?
Dodge?
Evade or
Dodge.
dodge?
Sorry.
Dodge. All right. Yeah, I blew it.
I will blow it.
So you try to move away. How much you got, Jess?
No, I don't think I did it correctly.
I
I need to
dredged it
get.
in yellow.
Yeah.
I did
Yeah.
not get it.
You try to move away as Lich, one of the attendees, just grabs his walking stick and tries to punch you in the face with it.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to grab it out of his hand.
Okay. Roll for grappling.
Grappling.
Yeah. Well, the guy is trying to hit you. Grapple. You have 25%. You need to get a 25 or lower. Well, the guy's trying to hit you.
I rolled a 99.
Oh boy!
You guys could do a somebody could do a despair right now.
Yeah, this is gonna.
Did we get our
hurt.
hunch, by the way?
No.
Oh,
Did we?
Did we get our hunch?
Oh.
Of the play.
I gave you a hunch, but I don't know if you noticed it.
I have
okay.
a bit of a hunch myself.
So.
Oh, we have a despair banked. Actually, Dredge did a despair
Yeah.
earlier.
So, Lich, you take 2 damage as the guy with the cane just punches you across the face, but his words move in a weird way. His lips move, but and in a different way, like distinct from his actual statements. As he asks you, "Have you seen the yellow sign?" Cat, you try to dodge, but a woman just pulls you by the hair, trying to drag you into the floor. Well, you can see her raving about how theater is one of the greatest arts following music. What do you do?
Music is the superior art. Let me go.
You want to try to escape her fingers?
Yes.
Roll
That was
for
a
dodge.
horrifying line if I ever heard it. Do you want to try to escape her fingers?
Yeah.
What do I roll?
Dodge. That's your dexterity times 2. That's if you don't have any
Okay,
advantages.
Okay. I see. Did not make it.
No. You try, but the woman pulls you and tugs you by your hair. You take 1 damage. You can feel like if she used more strength, she could try to scalp you, as you can feel your hair is detaching and breaking into her fist. As suddenly, both of you start hearing a whistling as you see a group of about 6 police officers, some of them pushing and hitting the crowds to try to split them up, to try to separate them, and arresting whoever they can see in their immediate vicinity.
I want to grab Kat's hand and start working towards the other direction where the cops came in to try to get to a row that we can walk up.
Okay, roll for dodge.
God, Dodger's crap too. 67.
Finally, the coppers have arrived.
I have failed.
What place is this?
No, you try to run away as suddenly you see one of the police officers pointing at you, saying, "You there, stop!" As you can see them whistling and pushing people outside. Of the rioters, of the 50 people, I would say out loud, at least 25 or 30 were acting weird, punching people, strangling each other. But for what you're seeing, thankfully, nobody's dead.
We got a despair.
Somebody spent a despair? Okay.
Yes, that scene. Uncivil.
Yeah. The police officer walks behind you as he just tries to shackle both of you, like pushing you against the wall, not caring about your harm or
Watch
not.
it. I'm American.
Coppers,
like
this is my assistant, and we're here on
We're
business.
Americans.
Can you see how we're dressed? Please unhand us at once.
Not the hands.
Roll credit rating
Oh.
or fast talk, whichever you wish.
Ooh, this time I got a 9.
Okay.
My credit rating is 15. I actually made it.
Ooh.
My books don't sell that badly in London or England.
One of the cops pushes you away.
Definitely didn't make it.
Oh, you didn't make it, or yes? No, the cops
Never
don't care
heard.
about you. They don't care about you. But in your case, Lech, one of them just pulls your wallet away, and he sees your ID. The cop says, "Wait, this fella be famous. What the hell is a famous guy doing in the theater? Well, that's what they do. All right, off you go." They say as they unshackle.
He's
Do you need
famous. Hey, that's my assistant. I brought him here.
You probably
Uncuff me.
read The Doberman in the Pit, a collection of short stories for greedy children.
Yeah.
It did really well in England.
All right, the small talk can happen over tea time. Will you uncanned me?
They don't care, Jess. They just push you in the back of those I don't like a police car basically, with some other of the guys in there. They just push you there, get you there, and they're gonna take you to the magistrate in the morning since it's very late. So you might have to spend.
Kat went to jail, and I didn't.
Yeah, for the night.
Okay, but I didn't, right?
Welcome to
No, you didn't.
I'd like to go buy a gun. Oh, I can't buy a gun. This is London. Is it outlaw guns right now still?
No, only police officers.
Oh, so I can't have a gun? So I rolled up a character that was good at shooting, and this is fantastic.
Take the gun.
Welcome to Call of Cthulhu.
I'll have to take
I've
the
been
gun.
I've been in that can for one night. Take the gun.
Welcome to Call of Cthulhu. Jess, the cell. There's you're with women. Some of them are prostitutes. Some of them were involved in fights. Outside, you can see in the cell in front of you some guys. Some of them are pissing in the ground. Some of them are walking from one side to the next. There's a woman sleeping next to your, like, resting her head over your shoulder. It's been a rough night. For you, Caster, what's your plan, dude?
I'm gonna take the long way back to the hotel, get my thoughts in order, try to process what I'd seen tonight. I have no idea what that was. I can't believe the canary's in jail. Canary's caged. The caged canary. Caged cannibal canary.
So,
Something's there.
as you're walking across the corner, you can see that there's a bar nearby. And outside the bar, there's a group of people talking and being kind of loud, but not too loud. Some of them say, "Cheers for our first play."
People are talking about the play?
Yeah, you notice the actors who plays Casilda, the actor who plays the Inuit, the actors who play the children.
They're actually there at this place?
Yeah, they're outside. Like they are just doing their party after the play.
Well, I'm gonna have to go introduce myself. Well, hello. Name is Castor Belvedere. You've probably heard of me. Interesting play.
Hold on, let me do a roll. The guy who played the Inuit just looks at you saying, "Yeah, you were in the first row with a girl. Yeah, please sit down." They say offering you to sit.
Oh, on the curb, like a.
No, in the chair. They pull you a chair for you.
Oh, they're sitting outside. Okay, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I'll sit down.
Yeah, you sit down with them as some of them are just drinking. Do you notice that the one actress feet looks off? If you want, you can do a psychology roll to figure out what's wrong with her.
I rolled 100.
Nah, she must be dealing with her womanly issues. She looks, yeah, but she doesn't interact too much.
She might be tired. It's tiring work to be up there doing that.
Yeah.
Another artist like myself can totally understand.
Yeah. You suddenly see that from the main entrance of the bar, a man shows up. A man with a... hold on, let me see if we have a picture of the guy here.
In evidence?
Yeah, on the page 20, the first guy.
Page 20, okay.
Yeah. The first guy with the glasses, you see him arriving. Next to him, you see Michael, Jen, the other guy on the top row, and Hannah.
Okay.
Those are the actors. But the guy, the guy with the glasses, he just walks in with holding a big tray with beers. As you notice that in the bar, there's also some of the spectators of the play, and some of them clap to him.
Can I ask you all a question? Does that fight that broke out, is that a regular occurrence?
Did you see that they say, well, the people here can be a little bit rowdy? And while they're saying that, the man with the glasses just says, "Any work of art should seek to inspire fervor."
Yes.
I am...
Kickstart the heart.
Indeed. My name is Mr. Istus. I am the playwright.
Oh, you wrote this play?
Yeah.
What was where did you get the material for? Is this all your own original thinking?
No. It's from an old book I found. An old play called The King in Yellow.
Huh, interesting. And that was the fellow at the end in all yellow robes?
Yeah, yes. But what do you thought about the play?
It was confusing. But invigorating for the soul.
It's good. Though confusing is not what I was looking for.
Oh. Well, I wasn't quite sure how they were related. The people in the play were related, and of course, I've never heard of the locations, kingdoms. I wasn't quite sure of the plot. Was there a plot?
It's too simple for a simple-minded man like you. While he's saying that, you notice that there's another man, a little bit more overweight, looking a little bit worried as he says, "Mr. Estus, can we speak?" "Ah, yes, Mr. Noble." As he turns his back to talk to the man. The other actors, they look a little bit uneasy after the play. Especially the woman who played the queen.
Is there any way in 1920s England, was there a way I could bail Cat out?
Yeah, but you have to wait for the next morning for the magistrate to arrive.
Okay.
So, if you want to do me a roll of listen, since Estus and Noble are arguing a little bit loudly.
Okay. You want me to roll a what?
Listen.
Oh, listen.
Yeah.
Listen. Do you know anything about techno? All right, 19.
Ah,
I think
nice.
I made it.
Did you manage to hear that
I did.
Estus
Okay, go ahead.
is upset, saying, "But how could you?" And look, Estus, the play caused a riot because that's what theater does. It has to impact people. Yes. But I won't let people die on my theater. So all the further performances of this play are cancelled from now on. I'm sorry. He looks pale as he turns to his actors, and he whispers something to some of the actors. Some of them look a little bit sad. A man and a woman, the queen and another one of the players, look relieved for not having to do it again.
Not having to do the the play.
The play again.
Okay.
Yeah. So, most of them are leaving, and some of them are discussing not to work with this guy again. But since you were very kind, there's two who give you their cards in case you know of any other gigs or you want to adapt any of your work as a play. One of them is Michael Gillen and his wife Jen Howard. Those two are willing to stay in touch with you.
I want to keep in touch with Talbot Estes. I want to talk to him. He's the playwright, right? So
yeah,
he's the one I want to talk some shop with.
Okay.
And now, is this your first work?
No, I have done other works, but this is the one that inspired me the most. I read that book about 2 years ago, and I've been rereading it and rewriting it into this play.
Interesting. Now, I've never done that. I've never done the process of porting a book to a novel to a screenplay. That sounds interesting. Would you like to get some tea?
No, but you seem like a smart fellow, and I know you are a writer. So, where are you staying?
At the boo.
All right, I don't live too far from here, so I will send you a little gift.
Consider
it a welcoming package to the city.
Is there a wedding ring on this man's hand?
Yes.
Okay, gift it is.
The man just pats you on the shoulder as he leaves for the night.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Jess, the next morning, you're tired. Did your character sleep that night?
Probably.
You established dominance, didn't you?
Probably like nodding off, but no, yeah.
You established dominance in the jail cell, didn't you? With everybody else was in there. She was running the show.
Yeah, the caged bird sings.
Please somebody
There's my title.
Please somebody draw Cat's
title.
character in Orange is the New Black.
Yes.
So
Let me out.
you're in front of a very bulky guy wearing a wig. The guy is dressed in a red judge outfit. There's people coming around him as you are now in the courthouse. The magistrate just registered charges for causing a fray, and but there was no bodily harm. So.
Believe me, Judge, if I was to start a fray, everyone would hear about it. Can we hurry this up, please? This is my first night in your city, and really, I'm a welcome guest.
Guest or not, the law is the law, and because of your troubles, we shall charge you a fine of £2 apiece. You may go.
My troubles. I'll place it. Over conversion, I'll place like $3.
All right. You leave. They give you your stuff back. Do you head back to the hotel?
Well, I was kind of thinking I would be there in the morning to get her.
Oh yeah.
I'm an assistant, by the way. I'm helpful.
Yeah.
Well, you're really helpful, assistant, aren't you? Good morning.
Good morning. Here's some tea.
It's
Hot
the only
tea.
thing you're good for is your tea.
What? Madame, how could you say such a thing?
Because it's the truth.
So,
You're an
well,
interesting
you are.
bird.
Prove yourself, assistant. Let's get some breakfast.
Okay.
What are you having for breakfast? Before you left that morning, they told you that Mr. Estus left a package for you, Castor.
Okay. So I carried it with me. I say, oh, look, I met the screenwriter of that play. He sent us sent me a present of some sort. He's quite dashing.
Right. You can, share play sizes together? Your book sizes? Compare?
I'm gonna open it
So
up while we're
your
walking.
gift is this package, and my gift was a jail cell. All right.
I am terribly sorry, Kat. There was no way for us. We got separated.
The famous author couldn't help our.
I tried to get you out. They wouldn't let you out till in the morning.
All right.
So-
what's in
Here, I'll
the
share this
box?
gift with you. Let's open it together while we're walking down Piccadilly Square.
Okay.
Name
You're just
name a London street.
You're just walking on the street as you start ripping off the papers of the box. And please, in the evidence, go to page 2.
Okay. Oh, The King in Yellow. This is what inspired him. This is a
Also,
book-
yes, that's an actual book.
So much yellow in this piss-covered town. I'm over it already.
You know, canaries are yellow. Just saying. Oh, he gave me. So what else is it? It looks like it's just a book, but also like is his notes? Has he translated to screenplays? Or...
Yeah, some of the notes, and that's a copy of The King in Yellow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the book he based it upon. Interesting, isn't it?
Interesting.
So,
now you can look further. You can understand what it was about.
No. No, I will try though. I will try. I'll read some more tonight.
All right.
so
Keep me posted.
But that's
You
not
had
why
what-
we're here anyway.
No.
you head back to the hotel. You have one extra day before Dr. Charles Highsmith arrives to the hotel. What do you guys want to do during that time?
I'm gonna stay in my room for a bunch, or is there a pool? And is there an indoor pool or somewhere I can relax and read The King in Yellow?
There's an indoor pool. There's an indoor restaurant where they play music and whatnot. Outside, there's a couple of shops, of clothing stores and whatnot. So, do you want to take the day to relax and read The King in Yellow?
That's what I'd like to do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get some fresh air.
All right. Roll me sanity, please, Lich.
I rolled an 84, and I think that's more than my sanity. Yeah, my sanity's 45.
What? You're more insane than I am. Makes sense, you know. That's
Well,
perfect.
you're at 34. What are you talking about?
Really?
Yeah, because you've lost sanity.
Did I? Okay. I need to write
Okay.
that down.
Do me an intelligence roll, please, while you're reading it.
Intelligence, is that still 1d100?
Yeah. How much intelligence do you have?
13.
Okay, 13 times 2.
I got an 80.
Okay, you need to get an 8 or lower.
I needed to get an 80 or lower?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hold on, let me double check. 10 times 2. Oh no, you need to get a 26 or lower. Okay.
Yeah, so I failed both rolls.
So, as you read the book, it's a little bit hard to understand. Like, you know it's gonna take a while to properly read and understand what you're reading. But every word that you read, every passage that you try to understand of this surreal document, it's burning in the back of your brain. It's between the stories of a woman turning to gold, between the story of a funeral carriage and a dead man walking. There's something else in there, but you're not very sure of what.
Something between the lines.
Yeah. My good sir, you lose 5 sanity points.
All right, I lost 5. Really? Okay, but
Yeah.
Elton Silva Alpha redeemed Hunch for us.
Oh, hold on.
And welcome to the dungeon, BC, right?
Welcome to the dungeon, buddy. So, here's the thing. You lose 5 sanity,
okay,
but I'm giving you 6 points of Cthulhu Mythos.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
5 insanity, so 4.
Yeah.
And 6 points of... So it goes down to 93?
Yeah, and the stats now you have a +6. Meaning that, remember, you can, if you see something that you consider weird, you can ask me, can I roll for Cthulhu Mythos? And I can give you a couple of hints of what you're seeing. Okay? But for...
Mm-hmm. I was just going to ask about the hunch. So.
The hunch is, the names of certain things are very strange and very reminiscent. Like, for one moment, while you're reading the book, you can totally see Cat as Queen Casilda. For one moment or two. Yeah. Which is the queen of the story. At the same time, there's a sign, a symbol that repeats over and over again in different pages, in different ways. A sign that's differently than the rest of the book. Even if it's a very old book, the sign is darker, it's more yellow. So, what do you do in your free day?
I'm going to start doodling it in the corners of my writing journal.
Okay. Okay. If you want to go there, okay. Yeah, that's interesting. Okay, so you start doodling the sign, the yellow sign. Jess, what will Kat do for this free day?
I suppose I'll check out the sights of this place. Wander around outside. Maybe I can find the Natural History Museum. I could tour there if I'd like, but really just... I really want to collect my thoughts about what happened that night. Now, you said Cthulhu mythos. Of what I know, that rune or that, like, sigil, and just sort of trying to think it all over in relation to this mythos.
Roll Cthulhu Mythos while you're in the History Museum. To see if you can relate to it to anything.
I guess what she's really asking is because of where her experience is, does she feel something more on top of that more? Like, does it open up something else?
Holy shit, Jess!
Yeah.
What'd you roll?
A 5.
Nice.
5. So... That's not just a random doodle. You know that there's something more. That sigil is not a sigil, it's something else. It's perhaps sacred to geometry, perhaps it's a window into itself, or perhaps it's a door.
A door.
While you're thinking about that, while you're walking through the Natural History Museum, you notice that a bunch of kids, about 6 to 7 years old, are there with their teacher doing a little bit of a walk. They're wearing the typical school type of outfit, shorts, black or skirts, black jackets, but all of them wearing yellow ties.
Oh, this yellow.
Yeah.
The color is making me sick. I need a drink.
All right. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm gonna go BRB for 2 seconds. I'm gonna let you guys collect yourself before you guys meet Dr. Charles. 1 moment.
Oh, hey, Joker. You there? Still? Or
He has left the building.
Could just took our break, but whatever. Yes, Vexing Raven, this is Call of Cthulhu.
Welcome. I am your night canary, Catarina Taylor. We're in the 1920s, London. And so far, my stay is piss poor quality, if I could sum it up nicely.
England, 2 stars. May not visit again.
1 star.
1 star, may not visit again.
Terrible time. It's only problems that are arising. I just happen to be there.
Oh, a cat's glass is humongous. If it's the one that she's drinking out of.
Yeah, it's perfectly sized. Jeez. In front of the Queen, pinkies up.
So tell me more about this letter. We're going to see the doctor who is seeing this special person. Why are we seeing this?
Well, so this was Titus's last objective, his last
Okay, sorry, I'm back.
I suppose, of his skepticism. But this is on the case of psychosis, of psychology.
Okay.
That's why I strung you along.
Yeah, yes.
The only reason, I assure you. But how was that book of yours? Did you get it? I mean, no offense.
I'll try not to take any.
Assistant, how has your book been? Yeah.
I'm sorry? The book.
The book?
Book, yes. Fine.
Anything makes sense?
Of the play, no. I still have not found where he took the material for this. There's hints of it in the book, but it's almost as if, I don't know. It is a height of an inspiration I've never experienced before. For be able to leap to the play that was created.
Oh.
I'm going to look more into this, though.
That night, you guys go to sleep. Do you sleep, or do you want to keep reading the book?
Do I sleep, or that sounds like a really bad idea? I'm gonna sleep. Yeah.
All right.
Are you gonna sleep, or are you gonna go crazy?
What about you, Kat?
I can't escape the crazy in my dreams, but I'll take some beauty sleep.
That morning, you get your morning call from reception saying that a doctor is looking for both of you. He's on the lounge. He wants to speak privately with both of you.
Well, let's do it.
That's right.
You go downstairs. You're to have breakfast, where you see this tall man with a bit of a beard, salt, pepper, looking older. Almost, you don't know if he has an air of grandeur to him, or if he's just bored and tired of people. In the evidence, it's on page 20. It's the man with the pipe. The man has a couple of files on his hand. He's just reviewing them as he sees both of you. He stands up to shake hands with you, Caster, and he approaches you to kiss your cheek, Kat. He sits down, ordering some tea from waitresses, as he opens the file saying, "I'm very happy you were able to make it. Like I said in my letter, I'm dealing with a particular..."
I'm sorry, did we go to the asylum?
Not yet.
Are we...
At the hotel we meet.
We're still at the hotel? Okay.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure under the circumstances. I'm sorry you were unable to meet with Titus, but I hope we're the next best thing. I'm Catarina Taylor. I will be here with my assistant today.
Hello, I'm Castor. I'm old friend of Titus. And author.
Oh yeah, I have read your books. If you can do a deliberation in somebody's mind, that will be helpful. He says, opening the file and showing you a picture. The patient is Alexander Roby, brother of Graham Roby. He's a prominent banker. His family doctor, Dr. Lionel Trollope, committed Alexander on my asylum at St. Agnes about 2 years ago. I have signed 3 petitions that authorized his admittance, and due to the murder of his father and his sister. Mr. Alexander has suffered night terrors, but we encourage his progress through the usage of drugs. We believe he suffers a long state of insanity in which he has a brief and predictable space of attacks. That is, if they're not controlled by the drugs. He was committed for a maximum of 2 years, and his committing is about to get is due to our review. So I was asked to do a full review to see if he should be kept committed or if he could be released. The family doesn't want any direct correlation between me and his deliberation, not to cause any type of controversy, depending on what are your findings on his mental state, and to see if he's a danger to society. Like I said, I've been keeping contact with family doctor, Dr. Strolop, who was the first and main witness of the atrocity that he committed.
Killing his sister and
father, yes.
And father.
Yes.
So there was a witness to him doing it?
No, he was the first to arrive to the scene.
Oh, I see.
Yes. So, as for his character, he seems to be very peaceful while on drugs. He seems very lethargic. While not lethargic, he suffers night terrors. Horrible and constant night terrors. As well as he's in a catatonic state most of the year, except for a window on October, where he becomes more active.
Why October? Any idea?
No. But I believe it's some sort of condition that he has developed because of the closeness of the date of the murders. I believe that he suffers some sort of stationary madness, which I wish to make a paper about.
Smart.
If you wish, I can arrange a meeting with Mr. Roby in the asylum.
I'd love to meet him. Sounds like an interesting character.
Is there anything? Oh, he said as he checks his documents, as he hands you a piece of the newspapers. This is the crime. We try not to discuss it too much, not to startle him. It's on page 8.
Murder at Mayfair Mansion. Family member held for questioning. A double murder was committed last night at the home of Mr. Herbert Roby, 4 Curzon St. Mayfair. The police were called to the house at 10:45 p.m. by domestic staff to discover the bodies of 2 family members, Mr. Herbert Roby himself and his daughter, Miss Georgina Roby. Police say that this does not appear to be a random attack or the work of burglars, and that the motive is yet unknown. A family member has been detained to assist with the inquiries, which are ongoing. Mr. Herbert Roby, 64, was retired from the Foreign Office and the father of the well-known merchant banker, Mr. Graham Roby, who was not in town at the time of the tragedy. Daily Express, 15th October, 1926. Okay, so whenever October rolls around, he gets a little more sober?
Yes, but still, even if he's highly medicated, he becomes sober. While not medicated, he can become more dangerous.
Oh, it becomes more dangerous in October?
If he's not medicated, that is.
Okay.
And he's always medicated. What reason would there be to stop his medication?
The first time we didn't know about his night terrors. We keep him medicated to avoid them. To keep him in a state of submission, I hate to say.
Alright.
Do you know what are the night terrors? Perhaps we should ask him ourselves.
No. But like I mentioned in my letter, he has an obsession with the stars. So to the point that we have to put him in a cell without windows. Whenever he had these attacks, he would become more violent and try to break the windows.
Why would you forbid him from seeing stars? Is this dangerous to give him hope?
Because anytime he saw stars, he would attack anybody who would try to move him away from the windows, and he would try to break the windows and do and write with his own feces and other unsanitary things.
It's a terrible writing substance.
Yes.
Well, you've
You're
never.
right.
Never mind. Never mind.
Even by while being drugged, he would become obsession with the stars and the and other figures in the sky, to the point where we have to drug him for him to be able to sleep. So we are not allowing him to look into the sky.
I'll take your word for it, Dredgen. Is there any way I can find out if this guy's hiding something or knows more than he's telling us?
Roll for psychology.
Oh, I rolled 75 and my psychology is 75.
Ooh, okay, that's a success.
Yay.
Maybe not because he's trying. Maybe not out of malice. Maybe because he's forgetting certain details.
Okay. Great. Okay, so help me out here though. What are we here to do?
Basically, to assess if the guy should be released from the mental asylum.
Oh, I see. Because he doesn't act necessarily crazy. He's obsessing about strange things, like the sky, probably constellations, things like that. Okay.
Yeah, and only when he's not medicated.
And Titus was going to be the expert on the whole.
Yeah.
On whether or not, because he is the skeptic to determine whether or not he's telling the truth or is crazy, legitimately crazy.
Yeah.
Well, it's a good thing you brought me along.
That's the reason I brought you.
And only that.
You're starting to get it.
As for other things he mentions, the medication that we've been using is it's on the file, by the way, if you want to read it. But for what you're reading it, it's just normal. He's giving 2 to 3 months prescriptions. And as for other influences, there's nothing other than how to put it. He hasn't spoken to anybody outside. Nobody comes to see him. No relatives, no loved ones, no one. The only people who actually communicate with him are his doctors and nurse. That's about it. And other than that, a couple of times pencils were found in his cell. But he's not allowed to have pencils, nor any sharp object.
What do you mean? How did they get there?
We don't know.
Let's go see him. See this poor boy, this poor lad. He's 64, right?
I mean, his father was 64.
This poor old man.
He's about 30.
Oh, he's about 30. I'm sorry, who was 64 then?
The father.
The father was 64. Okay.
Yeah. So, the doctor gives you tickets for the train.
Let's go, Scully.
He says that he's gonna, god damn it, now wanna run Delta Green. He gets you, he tells you that he's gonna, if you don't have a car, he can set a car for you to pick you up, to take you to the asylum.
Okay.
We have arrived.
All right.
Right.
I'll hand my assistant the keys.
I don't drive in London. Oh, okay. I'll drive, I suppose.
We're on the wrong side of the road, the wheel is, but you can figure it out. You're an intelligent professor, right? Psychology of the road.
Tell me how you really feel. I tell the road as I drive down it. All right, so I guess
road
we're going...
just...
Okay.
No, the road just swirls and there's a couple of crashes. That's how the road feels.
I want to drive out to the asylum.
All right. It's a long drive.
Are those the plot holes that you just ran across? Sorry.
It's been a long drive. The roads have little to no cars. Cat, sometimes you look through the window, you see birds flying over, and maybe it's your imagination. But for 1 second, you can see the birds almost doing flying, like making something similar to a spiral for 1 moment or two, as the car just keeps moving to the roads, following the train tracks. After about 3 days, you guys arrive to a small town connected to a train station.
That's a lot of driving.
Yeah. It's way outside. You look for a place to stay. You find a small inn. It's the only hostel in the place. People here are mostly living on the farms, basically. And outside the small town, you can see a mountain and the shape of this big house, the mental asylum. I assume that you guys, get a place to rest, get your things together, and head to the St. Agnes Asylum.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a cozy little bread and breakfast or inn nearby.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The St. Agnes by itself sits on a hill, a mile east of the village. Unpaved rudder tracks between the broad and dry stone walls. The main building is a longish 3-story grey brick house. Outside, long, massive walls that separate the madness from the normalcy of the world. Inside, it's rather quiet. All you can see is the staff moving from one side to the next, even if you arrive by nighttime, guys. When you arrive, you can start to tell that there's about 10 nurses in the first floor. By the entrance, there's a nurse waiting for you guys, sending you to the second floor to go see to the office of Dr. Highsmith.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to show you in the roll 20. Well, that's the first floor. Okay. All windows are barred. There's not security guards, but you can see that there's some more brownie, nurses. All of them wearing their particular clothes. To both of you, they give you special pins just to say that you're visitors. As you guys head to the second floor.
Think you were a bitch.
Oh,
sorry,
hey.
Don't
worry. Oh, somebody's giving bits. So, I might have to do something special.
You could do something special for 500 magic bits from Aaron My Laundry.
Yeah. So, you head to the office of...
out the dirty laundry of this guy at the asylum.
Mm-hmm.
You head to the office as the walls are very yellowish. Of the possibly because of the sunlights, or maybe because of the dampness in the air. You enter the main office where Charles is waiting for both of you, saying that he's preparing Mr. Roby for an interview. As he is signing some documentations for you to get ready to interview him, 2 members of the staff start asking you for your keys, your pencils, in your case, Kat, anything that you can use in your hair. Nothing that the guy can reach.
Can I keep my pen and notebook?
No. But they will give you a transcription.
Okay.
Okay? They tell you the guy is sedated, so he's not dangerous. So there will be always a male orderly in the room, a man called Price, with Roby's assistant taking note. Okay?
Okay.
What do you guys do?
They're in the process of taking us to see him, right? Or is he here now?
They're taking you to his cell.
Oh, okay.
Which is this one, if I better remember.
I'm gonna pay attention to everything around me. This is my first look into an insane asylum.
Oh, no, the older lady doesn't have a pen. No, but he's a big guy. It's like the type of guy who's say, pay me. As they're walking with you, you can see that Charles' assistant is walking next to you. And the assistant is interrupted by another orderly. A man with a long face and sunken eyes. The man tries to say something to the other person, but this individual goes, "Not now, Evans," as they just walk in the group towards the cell. If you want, I can show you how he looks like.
Okay.
He is on, hold on, page 22. The guy in the middle of the image.
Okay.
That's Roby.
That's Roby?
Yeah.
In the middle?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can see that the guy is just sitting on a table. His cell has books. There's no windows, and every window outside is completely barred.
Hey.
The man is just...
Hold on, we got to raid. Hi, everybody.
Yeah. Hey, welcome.
Welcome to the dungeon.
Hi, everybody from Evandale. Hope you guys had a great game. Thank you very much for joining us for Call of Cthulhu.
Welcome to the asylum in London 1920s.
Yes, thank you. It's a period piece asylum.
Holy shit. Hold on, I need to prepare something. Jess, how much is your power?
Power?
Yeah. Your power stat.
10.
10. Okay. So, the man is just looking down. The moment you see him, Kat, there's something about him that flusters you, but you don't know what. It's almost like a little bit of a crush, but you don't know why.
Interesting.
It makes you feel uncomfortable even. The man is just quiet, so it's just you, the elderly, an assistant a little bit away with a pen and paper, a table, 2 chairs, and the guy looking down. And behind him, he has his books and his bed. He's not responding at first. He looks even catatonic for a couple of moments. Sometimes you can hear footsteps and sobbing through the corridors as the orderly takes you. The man looks at you, Jess, for a moment, and he just says, "Delia?"
Who?
Oh, no, and then he just shakes his head and looks down. Both of you can do me a spot hidden roll if you guys want to see if you notice something about his cell.
Mm-hmm.
We're taking a look around his cell.
Yeah, if you want. Yeah.
He's there, right? Can we start trying to talk to him?
Yeah. He looked at Kat asking if she was Delia.
Okay.
No, Jess, you don't notice anything?
So I rolled a 23. What am I using though?
In spot hidden.
Spot hidden. Ooh, 23 out of 25. I made it.
There's a small hole that connects one cell to the other, like a peeping hole.
Interesting. Who does he talk to? Who's his friend next door? We'll have to ask that after.
Like I said, the guy has a shit ton of books on one side. Most of the books are poetry. Books like From Our Ghostly Enemies, The Freak, and Idol of Suburbia, poems, collected poems, and The Man Who Died Twice.
It's from. Man who died
The guy
twice
just
by what's his name? Wrote James Bond.
The man who died twice. Hold on. Edwin Arlington Robinson.
Ian Fleming. Oh. Okay.
No, nothing by Ian Fleming.
Okay.
The guy's just looking down at the table after you said that you were whom? He's just like disappointed that you're not you're not Delia. What do you guys do?
I'm gonna get down and sit down and try to make get eye contact and try to make some kind of contact with him. What's his first name again?
Hold on, let me tell you right away. It is Alexander Roby, 36 years old.
Hello, Alex. Hello, we're here visiting you. Hello? I'm gonna try to get his attention.
Alex, it's been so long.
You know him?
Roll persuasion if you want. No, go ahead. Roll persuasion, Cat.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you try singing, Cat?
Unlike you, I'm more than a one-trick pony.
Oof.
Wait.
The man is still looking into the ground, into the table. He just says, "Locked in this room is inconvenient. It means I cannot finish my work, and so I can't go where I would like to go. You know, few writers have the ability to write honestly. Truths are used for entertainment, and only that is a strange concept. It's merely graces of input. Such writers like a man whose only concern is to hide his ignorance, willful misinterpretations, a shut mind, closed eyes, tight mouth, and a balled fist. It's not enough to have the ability. You must be brave enough to use that ability, bringing your intellect to bear like a light in the darkness, like a sane man in a world of madmen." He smiles refusively to himself and goes quiet once more.
Hi, Shinobi. Did you catch what he just said?
You're stuck here. You cannot fulfill your own destiny here.
I'm listening to what you're saying. Seems like you know something about this. My spidey sense is tingling with you. I'll keep that to myself, though.
The man just glances over at both of you for a moment and looks down into the table, not saying anything. If anybody in the chat wants to suggest them any subject for them to press, go ahead.
Subject for them to press? Who do you talk to next door?
He doesn't say anything. He just looks into the ground.
Do you know where to find the door to escape, to leave?
Not saying anything. He's just looking into the ground.
Don't you think she looks just like Caselda?
The moment you say that, he jumps in his seat, almost not towards you, like making himself comfortable. As he looks at you, his eyes are big, full with intrinsic fascination. As he looks wild, like an animal, like children on Christmas. His eyes looking at you and just saying very quickly, "Have you seen the pallid mask? Have you been down by the lake and see the beauty that fell rightness of it all? Edward said to work with him. Are you with Quarry? Why are they not here? Is this the year? Once in 5,000 years? Has Quarry brought the Yellow King? Has he summoned the King in Yellow?
No.
Is he already among us?"
Not
No.
yet.
He just looks down and gets closer, almost to whisper a secret to both of you. And his mouth opens and then he only says, "Have you seen the yellow sign?"
this one? I pull out my notebook and show the markings, the sketches. All right, so we've got 2 hunches and 2 yellow signs, by the way, Joe.
Ooh, okay. 2 hunches. This is the first time you see the guy animated. The guy, for the way he moves, it seems like this is the first time he uses his physical strength to actually move. Like you can hear his bones cracking because he hasn't moved too much. His excitement, the moment he sees the yellow sign, tells you that he not only has seen it, he knows it. As for the hunches, as for the others, he looks at both of you as he suddenly, his eyes become half closed. He sits again, looking, this time not looking at both of you, this time looking between you, looking behind the orderly, beyond him. And his voice changes once more. What Edwards and I are doing now harms no one. I've been worrying about Malcolm Quarry and the conversation we had. I think that despite what Edwards might think, that Quarry is right. The King in Yellow has called himself the White Acolyte. His eyes.
Him Corey. Who's Corey?
He looks at you, saying, I don't think he'll stay away. So here is a kindness I would like you to pass on to him for when he sees that. He takes a deep breath. The king does not offer what he hopes. Divert the king's attention from our world and back upon the dream city. He must think of, he looks at you, yes, Cathilda's song. The stars that burn in their charcoal death shrink back. They feel the hoary breath of he who ransoms great Carcosa. He flees when queen and prophet met, where the twin suns fall but never set, escapes the tomb of lost Carcosa. After that, he just looks down.
Well,
not saying anything else.
As interesting as he is batshit crazy. Pardon. That's my professional opinion, by the way.
He's batshit crazy?
Yes.
Roll idea, both of you.
67, which is well below my idea.
Same.
Okay.
33. Over 85.
The song that he sings, you have heard it, and you literally not just have heard it, you have read it.
Okay.
The song that he sang is the exact same song that the actors who played Casilda did in the play. And you have read that exact poem in The Yellow King.
Yeah.
He's quoting it by word. Like those words are printed into the back of his brain.
See, the book I read, this King in Yellow, the play we saw, seems to come with it a culture of a little bit of madness, it seems. But it's all getting obsessed with certain trains of thought. There's a lot of different viewpoints on how things get stuck in our ideas, get stuck in our minds. It's not uncommon, this. Stuck, and now he's got a mental chemical imbalance that means he keeps looping in these same thoughts. He might think he's actually in, or he might actually know Hastur.
Right. These ideas are not grounded in this reality, but rather towards the stars.
Yeah, creative imagination.
The moment you mention the stars in front of him, he switches his head for a moment, almost to look to his bookcase, but noticing that the orderly is looking at him, so he pretends that he doesn't do that.
Hey, what's your price?
He just looks at you, saying, "Excuse me."
Sorry, I think I might have misplaced my purse right at the entrance. If you could, sorry, my feminine products are in there and I need them in just about 5 minutes. If you could please grab them for me really quickly.
So you're trying to get rid of the other doctor or the orderly or something?
Yeah.
So
Roll for persuade.
Well, I put my hands over. I go, you really need to get this as an emergency thing because my persuade. That's one of the things I'm very good at.
Roll persuade, yes, and I'm gonna give you a little bonus.
I got
you
it.
give that, and then if it doesn't work, I'll take it.
66 versus
-80.
Ooh.
Oh, yours is good too.
You see the big guy just sighs. He looks over his shoulder and he says something to someone like, "Could you keep an eye out?" Yeah, sure. As you suddenly see this man that was talking with them earlier, the man that they call Evans, this other orderly. In the page 22 is the guy at the left.
Okay, 22.
Yeah. The orderly is just biting an apple as he just leans against the wall, arms crossed.
Okay.
Like looking at inwards, making sure you guys don't do anything shady, while the other orderly goes to find your purse. Again, he's just biting into an apple.
So are we alone in here with Alex?
Yeah, and the other orderly by the wall, but he doesn't seem to care too much.
Okay. So why do you want us alone, Kat?
Alex, what inspired you towards the stars?
He doesn't say anything. You see
don't
the
have to worry.
orderly just walks towards both of you, putting the apple on the counter, reaching for his pocket and pulling a needle. Alright, sleepy time. He grabs...
We just got here all the way from America. We've just but met. Isn't there some break you can be on? We'll just be a few minutes more and we'll be on our way.
Lady, this guy's a tomato, and I have my orders from Dr. Charles. You see it? Alex just looks at him and just whispers, "Thank you for the pencils." Evans just looks a little bit upset as he just puts the needle on his arm and then starts injecting him with something.
I'm a potato.
Evans turns to both of you saying, "Alright, I've been here giving him pencils because, I like to be a gentleman and he seems not to be too, harsh. So it's normal. Here, orderlies, sometimes if you're a good patient, they ask us for favors and we give them favors back. You know who it is."
Could we see
Why
what
does he want?
Yeah.
Why does he want the pencils?
Well, not to make a shank, if you ask me.
I hope not. Does he draw or write?
Well, I don't know. And if he draws somewhere, I don't know where he's doing it.
Have you looked at his books?
Do you mind if I look around?
Sure, whatever. He says as he starts helping Alex into the bed.
All right, so I'm gonna start looking through specifically for like writings of his or drawings.
You start looking around for drawings, and the edges of every book that he has are filled with doodles and words and different sigils and symbols.
Anything I'd recognize, or maybe Kat would recognize?
Same, yeah.
The
The play sigil or from...
Both of you roll for Cthulhu Midas.
We gotta roll over, right?
Mm-hmm. Under.
Oh.
Under your Cthulhu Midas skill, that is.
Oh, I see.
So you need to get a 6 or lower, and yes, I don't know how much you need or lower.
Oh man, I got a 17.
Yeah.
Say,
That's not
I've got a
bad.
1. That's not gonna work.
No. The words are strange. Symbols are weird. But there's something about the symbols there. Something strange. As you notice the words, drawn over the letters. They form one word: Carcosa.
This play. And what are you saying to me? I mean, I am a queen, yes, but what about this queen? Sure, she sings.
Caselda. I don't know. When I was reading the book, you came into mind as I read her parts. I don't know why.
What happens to her?
As you're discussing that, you see that the other orderly arriving, Price, with your bag, and taking a piece of paper and handing it to both of you.
Okay.
The doctor asked me to give you this. If you go to page 9, that's the direct transcription verbatim of what he told you all.
You want to read or want me to read?
No, it's the same things that he said.
Oh.
In case you want to go back to what he said.
Oh, I see. Being unlocked in this room is inconvenient, means I cannot finish my work.
Yeah.
So, I'm looking for his work. Is he, is this is there anything more substantial?
No, not really. Not that you can find. What do you guys do?
Been by the lake.
Lich.
The beauty of the lake.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give you this one. Roll idea, Lich.
45. I made it.
In the King Yellow, it describes how the great city of Carcosa shows up by the Lake Hilla.
Okay.
But yeah, it mentions that it's a city that shows up in a lake.
To the orderlies, to Price and the apple
Evans.
gentleman, they're, we are tourists here as Americans, and well, we've seen some of the city, but is there some nature nearby, a lake perhaps?
Around these parts, none, Missy. And besides, this is London. I mean, this is UK. This place is filled with bloody lakes, says Evans. You suddenly see that Price looks at Evans saying, "Hey, I have to deal with the nut next door. Do you care taking them to Dr. Charles?" Yeah, no problem.
Wow, I want to talk to the nut next door real quick. I want to see the nut.
Okay.
Yes.
Who's the nut?
Oh, that's just Lucius.
Who?
Lucius.
Lucius. Can we talk to
Just
him?
ignore him. He has the mind of a child.
Can we talk to him?
I wouldn't recommend it.
Why not?
He looks at you. He leans closer to you, Cat, saying, "Have you ever read from Mice and Men?" Yeah.
He's like Lenny.
Lenny.
Yeah, except that Lenny wasn't hit with a motorbike in a motor accident.
We did get a hunch just now, by the way.
Ooh. Both of you roll listen.
Shit, 97.
Made it. 68 out of 80.
As Evans is trying to guide you to Dr. Charles, you can hear Price saying, "Oh, Lucius, we have visitors. You cannot be loud. But what about the devil? The devil is gonna get them, because if I saw the devil and the devil is real, he will comfort them." Lucius, calm down. The devil's not real. It has never happened here. There's no such thing as a devil. But my mom used to say that when you pray the devil away, and I haven't prayed. The guy's just moving back and forth. I haven't prayed and why is the devil? Lucius, speak with your talking voice. Oh, okay. And is Mr. Alexander sleepy? Yes, he's asleep. Will I see the devil in my dreams? No, I'm gonna give you something not to see him in your dreams. Okay.
Before you do, hey, Lucius. Are we like right behind? Oh.
Lucius is a very big guy. Page 21.
Hey.
Bald, with you can see him wearing a stretch jacket. Price looks at you and says, just stay away from him. He cannot control his strength. You notice that he has a massive scar in the back of his head. And that part of his skull is like sunk in. He just looks at you saying, oh, you look like a doll. Like my mom used to play with dolls when I was little. And when he says that, he tries to like slap himself in the head, but he can't. You said Price is standing by, just in case.
That's all right, Lucius. Yeah, and you're doing great at praying. Keep praying. You've never seen, or how will you know what it would look like if you stopped praying? But you keep praying. You're doing great.
Yeah, that's because when I don't pray, the devil shows up and he will hurt people.
What does the devil look like?
Hurt people?
Just the moment you say that, like when he says hurt people, you see that Price looks at both of you like, I think the doctor wants to talk to both of you.
Canary, I think we should go find this Malcolm Quarry.
Keep praying, Lucius.
Just be careful, because the devil will come for you, like how it come for Mr. Yates. The moment he says Yates, you see that both Evans and Price look like, oh fuck, why did he have to say that?
We just got a despair roll. I
Yeah.
did roll at 97 on my last idea.
Maybe because this guy is crazy, but you think that maybe this guy can be... I mean, he mentions the devil, he mentions Mr. Yeats, and he's on a stretch jacket. And they mention that he can be very fucking... that he's like Lenny. Do the mental math.
He's gonna attack one of us, isn't he?
You don't know. But you're already...
Mr. Yates.
Yeah, you're already like... the hairs on the back of your neck are lifting, are going electrical.
I think we should leave. I think we've overstayed our welcome.
Check in with Charles.
Who was Edwards? Do you remember who Edwards is? He mentions an Edwards in a Malcolm Quarry.
Do you go to talk to Charles, or you're talking this among yourselves?
Talking this among ourselves.
All right.
Maybe Charles could fill us in.
Is Charles still? We gotta go back to his office.
I mean, he's waiting for to see you guys.
Oh, okay. Let's go see Charles. He's in charge of our days and our nights. Charles,
You guys open the door. He's just sitting down, signing some documents to another orderly. The orderly just walks out, looking at both of you, saying, "So, were you able to figure anything interesting?"
Who is Delia?
Sadly enough, I don't know.
Who is Malcolm Quarry?
This is the first time he mentions that name. Sadly enough, anytime he sees a female on the vicinity, he asks for Delia. And we had to fire some of the female orderlies. We only keeping males ever since, well, apparently 2 female orderlies tried to have sexual relationships with him in his cell.
Wow. You don't have very strict hiring practices, do you?
Yes. I mean, for now at least. For the names that you mentioned, first time we ever hear about that.
That's all I'm saying, Rosa. So you don't know an Edwards either?
No, I have never heard a name. But what I could do is, I can give you the details of the other doctor that was standing him, Dr. Trollope.
Dr. Trollope. Okay.
Yeah.
And is he here in the hospital?
No. He's in London,
Oh.
but he lives close to St. James Park.
Where is Alexander from? London?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he knows more about Alexander than you do here?
I don't know really. All I know is that Alexander, we don't want the press to know about his condition. His brother asked us to keep it low because we don't want any controversies, or at least until we can confirm his prognosis, that if he's a danger to society or not.
And he's a writer. Have you seen any of his writings or?
Writings? He says right in a bro.
He told us he's a big writer.
I do believe he was into poet circles and whatnot, but writing, he cannot write. He doesn't have pencils nor anything similar.
I thought somehow there are pencils.
What if he did have pencils? Let's just start there.
Well, that means that some members of my staff may be fired, depending on the severity of what happened.
We didn't find any of his writing. We just found like doodles and the on books. Okay.
Yeah.
So we didn't actually find anything like our writing or original writings. Okay.
Yeah.
Why can he not write? What?
Roll persuasion. See if I can give you some extra help.
Yes. 13 out of 80.
He looks a little bit uncomfortable because some time ago, one of our patients had a tirade and killed one of the nurses.
With pencils?
No, with kitchen knives. We don't know how he got the knives. And we've been trying to keep this controversy under. And we are afraid that the patient who did this might influence Mr. Alexander to do something similar.
Jack gave us a hunch.
Lucas?
Yes.
Lucas came from Mr. Yates.
Lucius killed Mr. Yates.
And who is Mr. Yates?
We don't know how, but we found him covered in blood. The entire hallway was covered in blood. And Mr. Evans and Mr. Price were able to put him down because he was hysteric, saying that he saw the devil do it. And this was during one of the nights where Mr. Roby was ecstatic about seeing the stars. So as a way to protect him, we decided to relocate him from his previous cell that was in one side of Lucius to another cell that had no windows. We do believe that Lucius might try to influence him to attack one of the orderlies.
Well, you better move them because they're talking between the walls there. I saw a little hole they use for their correspondence.
That's impossible. He doesn't have tools to do anything like that.
Well, I saw the hole. Not lying to you, sir. Now, you did call us here for a reason, and as I mean, 50% of this team, I would say that I would recommend not releasing him out into the world.
Very well.
The educated on the matter subject, I refer to my assistant for these matters.
Very well. In that case, I will ask you to go see Dr. Trollope and contact him to give him your insight on this, so we can sign documentation to keep him for the 2 years.
Okay. We got another despair. Can we throw some despair in the hospital before we leave?
Don't worry, there's already despair going on in the background.
Oh,
I'm rolling dice.
Okay.
Who gave this guy dice? We're not allowed pencils, kitchen knives, but the dice got through? That's even more dangerous.
Dude. Back in my day in high school, before we had the dice, I had some friends who would make dice out of bread. Like with the matter inside of the bread, they would make the dice with that.
Dice out of bread?
Yeah. Like you take the bread, you take the inside of the bread. I don't know how to name it.
Yeah.
And when it gets solid, they would make
meat of the bread.
Yeah, they would make the shape of the D6s and whatnot.
Nice.
Yeah, and then use a pen to make the points. So, do you guys go to London?
Yes.
Well,
all right.
I'm interested in finding this on the way. I'd like to discuss.
Well,
what do we want to do? Do you want to keep? What are we doing here, Miss Cat?
What, solving the mystery, I suppose.
The mystery of crazy people?
Can you ever truly solve that? Or is this a fool's errand? At least it's a fun ride.
Yeah, I mean, I'm willing to go further into this to find out more about what's going on.
So, do you want to take a night in the town before heading out, or do I want to head out right away?
It's a 3 days journey.
Yeah.
Is there anything to do in this sleepy town?
Of London?
Not much. There is. You could go to the police station if you want to double check on the claims.
Well, the murders didn't happen here, though. They happened in London, did they not?
No. The murder of Yates happened in the mental asylum. Lucius had an episode and he killed one of the orderlies.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do we care about Lucius, though? I don't know. Like, he was talking to Lucius, but is Lucius, like, part of this?
I don't know. You tell me.
Came from Mr. Yates. Somehow, Lucius was convinced to kill Mr. Yates. Why would a child kill?
That's a good point.
What do you guys think? Do you want to talk to the local police?
Sure.
So, you take the car into the Hereford Police Department. You drive outwards as the sky is turning from yellow into red and slowly going into darkness. You arrive to the police station. As you start asking around about the events that's happening in the asylum, do me a credit rating roll to see who the police is going to talk to.
Wait, which one of those?
Oh,
Either.
credit rating?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Oh, creative writing.
Credit rating, yeah.
You've got creative rating.
I do.
I do.
It's not a skill. Where's
Credit rating? Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Oh, just
I
writing?
also heard creative writing.
Yeah.
Maxed that though, so.
So it's not creative writing? What is it?
Credit rating.
Oh, credit rating.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I rolled 24.
24. Okay. When you arrive, one of the officers, Mr. Wallace, looks at you and says that, yes, funny enough, the Dr. Charles had reached him that you might potentially come here, so he has the entire file for you. He takes you to a small office where the man puts a light on a pipe. He looks tired. He looks like on his 60s. The man just looks at both of you, saying, yeah, the crime scene was At first it was obvious, but then it got a little bit weirder. He says, like, as he puts on this.
Weird.
Yeah, you can see the clock moving behind him. You can only hear the tick-tock, as suddenly you can feel water starting to splash against the windows as it's starting to rain. So, first off, the scene had too much blood, enough blood to kill 2 men. There were 2 kitchen knives found on the cell of Lucius Harrywell. Soaked and slashed, the nurse's uniform was found in the laundry, oddly enough. Harrywell was always hold on.
That was funny if he'd used pencils to kill this person.
Pencils? I mean, Harrywell was he was always from what I understand, he wasn't a violent criminal.
Okay.
Now, here's the thing that caught my eye. Harrywell was covered in blood, but none of it was his. The door of the cell was unlocked. The Salem staff examined and found they didn't find any wounds on him. There doesn't seem to be a motive to Mr. Jade's death. We decided to take some blood samples and send them to London, and they found 2 different types of blood cells in the blood.
Wait, 2 different types of blood cells? Is that what you said?
Yes.
What do you mean by that? Like
As if 2 people.
Different blood? 2 different people's blood?
Yeah. Okay. As if 2 different people have blood on top of the same blood.
Whose?
We don't know. But we didn't find any injuries in Mr. Lucius. He insisted he saw the devil carving himself and carving the poor Jades. But the man is insane, so for all we know, his word is hearsay. We also don't know why he would put the clothes in the laundry.
Clean up the mess.
Yeah, well, he's insane, so I'm sorry if I cannot do anything for you. Do you want to take 15 minutes, or do you want to go a little bit longer? What do you guys think?
Well, do you want to go back to London for a little bit first, or at least take a break, go back to London? I can do either.
Yeah, because funny enough, I had planned the end of the chapter in the Return to London.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay.
It'll be 3 days, guys. See you at the end of the trip.
Yeah. So far, enjoying the game. I know it's a little bit more slow paced since I'm running the scenario of a book, but any thoughts so far, guys?
Oh, nope. I'm
Mystery
just
afoot.
bringing it all in.
All right, so.
Okay, we're gonna take a 10-minute break, and we'll be back, and then we'll be back to finish up the.
See you in London.
Yeah,
Part 1.
see you in London.
Yeah.
I don't really need that sick go. Really, I don't really need that just sick go. Really, I don't really need that sick go. Really, I don't really need that. I don't really need that sick go. Really, I don't really need that just sick go. Really, I don't really need that sick go. That sick go. I don't really need that sick go. Really, I don't really need that just sick go. Really, I don't really need that sick go. Really, I don't really need that. I don't really need that sick go. Really, I don't really need that just sick go. Really, I don't really need that. Sick go, that sick go. I don't really need that sick go. I don't really need that. I don't really need that your sick go. Really sick go, that sick go. I don't really need that your sick go. I don't really need that sick go. I don't really need that. that's it go. I don't really need that just it go. I don't really need that sick go. I don't really need that sick go. I don't really need that just sick go. I don't really need that sick go. I don't really need that I don't really need that sick go. I don't really need that just sick go. I don't really need that sick go. Sick go. That sick go. I don't really need that sick go. I don't really need that just sick go. I don't really need that sick go. I don't really need that I don't really need that sick go. I don't really need that just sick go. I don't really need that sick go. That sick go. Sick go. I don't really need that sick go. I don't really need that I don't really need that just sick go. Sick go. Sick go.
Phase 2 has begun, but we had no idea where it would lead.
The strange tides, the dead sailing, pillaging and burning our shores. There's something, or someone, behind all this.
We'll sail for 10,000 miles. We'll sail for 10,000 more. We'll drink and we'll fight and we'll sail all night. We'll sail for 10,000 miles.
The fantasy is high, but the prices are low, request more. Goblets to detect poison, 4-pack, $25.99. Lower. All right, $15.99. Yes. Cloaks of invisibility, disappearing off the shelves at $69.99. Lower. We can't go any lower. Lower. Fine, 2-pack, $59.99. Oh yeah. Magic Taco weapons, low as $199.99. Lower. Fine, $149.99. Lower. All right, $129 and I'll throw in a spare. Fuck yeah. You roll high while we roll low at Questmore.
Hey Dungeon fans, I'm the Lich, and the Liching Hour is my channel. And you know what? You should join the Discord. Not only do you get to keep up with the Liching Hour shows, you get to sign up for Viva La Dungeon, you get to sign up for X-Crawl, You get news by moi. Yeah, it's a pretty good deal. Your monster material. Just type this in the chat. Yeah, and then you get the link in the invite. Hope to see you there. Viva la dungeon.
You gotta diversify in this world. Then I'm gonna go global. Humans. Tasty, right? Good eatings. But too many of them think they're Rick Grimes. Coming at us zombies all hacking with their samurai swords. It's bullshit. But you know what these humans really hate? Their own urine. Yep. Especially if you get in their eyes. Or their mouth. Oh, they hate that. Introducing Normie Be Gone. Turns out, if you spray them with their own piss, they stay away. Oh, here comes a Normie now. I'm totally Daryl. Bad Normie. Gone.
What is this? Oh, gross. What is this? Is this urine?
Normie Be Gone. By Zombo.
I don't really need that sick go. Really, I don't really need that your sick go. Really, I don't really need that sick go. Really, I don't really need that. I don't really need that sick go. Really, I don't really need that your sick go. Really, I don't really need that sick go. That sick go. I don't really need that sick go. Really, I don't really need that your sick go. Really, I don't really need that sick go. Really, I don't really need that. I don't really need that sick go. Really, I don't really need that your sick go. Really, I don't really need that. Sick go, that sick go. I don't really need that sick go. I don't really need that. I don't really need that your sick go. Really sick go, that sick go. I don't really need that your sick go. I don't really need that sick go. I don't really need that.
With scenes, with a hunch scene. Hey, everybody.
Good evening, everyone.
Welcome back to Call of Cthulhu.
Yep. So, last time you guys were traveling back to London?
Yeah, I wanted to say that I think on the way back to London, Castor can't stop thinking about the King in Yellow, what he read, what he saw, what he'd heard from him. Something's sticking and going around and around in my mind now. I'm feeling drawn towards learning as much as I can about this. I'm in London. I'm away, from home. I want to dive into this. There's a book somewhere or something. I've tricked myself in my mind to thinking that there's a book in there that I should write.
Oh, interesting. So,
but this time I agree. I know there's something fishy.
I assume that he's been reading the book while Kat is driving and vice versa. Like he's been taking the turns to sit down and read the book whenever he can, in every stop or every inn that he can find. What's your ride to the city? You got commendated to go to Mr. Trollope's house. So,
Mr. Who?
Trollope, Dr. Trollope, the family doctor of Roby.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is he in a fancy place?
Yeah. He's he has a fancy house. close to the park. If you want to, you can do your magic, Glitch.
We're gonna see him in his house or in the park.
When you go around what time of the day do you guys arrive? It's up to you. Do all the freedom of the world.
Oh, I always like calling on people in late afternoon.
Okay, late afternoon. So you stop the car nearby. How much is your spot notice, both of you? Just wondering, for a friend.
How much is my notice?
A spot. A spot. Hidden. Sorry.
Oh, it's 25.
25. Same.
Both of you 25. Okay. Okay. Let's see. So once you arrive, just Kat is parking the car, and
Expertly.
yeah, and you maybe it's because you've been more hyperactive because of the book. You're still looking around, and you notice one guy, very tall, dark, smoking a cigarette, like looking, leering over you, like looking across the street from you, sitting on a bench. At the moment you lock eyes with him, like he stands up, pulls his newspaper, and walks away. But there's something off about this man, like tall, dark, a gentleman that's completely dressed in black. But he doesn't look inhuman. He looks just shady. You guys park the car. When you knock at the door of the Dr. Trollope's place, you just notice a woman opens, Miss Hughes, telling you that the doctor he's coming. He around this time of the day he always like to take a stroll in the park, and he will attend you on his drawing room. So in the meantime, feel free to get.
So where did we see this guy just walking around the street? The one you were describing?
Yeah, in the park in front of Dr. Trollope's place.
Okay.
Okay, like his house. You can see the park from his house, like across the street.
And this weird gentleman was in the park.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's stay out of the park. It's the weirdos over there. Weirdos.
So.
Okay.
Mrs. Hughes tells you that to wait for Dr. Trollope. He usually takes a stroll in the park when he's coming home from his office. So he's taking his stroll, and once he arrives, he will be able to tend you. But in the meantime, if you want anything, just ask her.
Okay, thank you.
The woman just nods as she walks away. The drawing room is very big. High ceiling, comfortable with blue seatles, and a deep Persian carpet. There's several objects of art in the place, like white ivory tusk depicting the colonization of the African continent, a brass polar bear lacing on a ice flag. There's a couple of paintings that are very beautiful. And the window, you can see outwards into one section of the park where there's a couple of artists, painters, and whatnot. What do you guys do?
I'm a lot hungry. I'd like some tea. I want to get Miss Hughes back to get us some tea. That's one thing.
The woman just nods as she brings you 2 cups of tea and one of those tin cans with different types of cookies, biscuits.
Bonus.
Check around the scenery. What a world traveler. This doctor's had some free time, or I suppose money.
You're looking around, you notice the big windows, you look outside, and you can see the different painters, like the type of guys who you can pay so they can do art of you, like cartoons of you and whatnot. And among the people that you see, there's one guy that catches your eye. He's very well dressed, wearing a yellow suit. He has a small stage, like a figure, with a couple of puppets, and there's a couple of children looking at them. But here's the thing. One of the puppets is a figure dressed with a dress that glitters. Next to her, there's a man, another figure, and they're being chased around by something that resembles a dead man living. And you realize something. One puppet is supposed to be you. The other is supposed to be Titus. The other was the reporter, and the stage is the house where everything started.
The
What?
small house with the, I mean, the what's his name? Yeah.
Mario's house.
Mario.
No,
Oh,
the
very
first game.
Oh, the very first.
Yeah.
The
house.
very beginning.
Yeah, and as you can see, this man with the puppets chasing your figures. It looks like a twisted version of Punch and Judy. As you look at this, the puppet that represents you turns and it slowly starts looking at you. Yes, you can feel that Cat is being looked by this grotesque caricature of herself across the stage. As suddenly, both of you hear the main door opening, and somebody saying, "Oh, it was a lovely day. Doctor, you have guests. They must be the ones working with Charles." You turn around to hear the door opening. You look up, you look back, and there's no puppeteer. There's nothing. There's another guy just painting in the place where the guy was.
Doctor. Glad you.
The man is a short man with a monocle, a small like bicycle handle mustache, very well dressed. The man offers his hand to check with both of you as he sits down, saying, "Well, I'm sorry for making you wait. So, what can I do you for?"
May I?
All right.
We received a letter. Well, my friend here received a letter from a friend of both of ours about checking in on this. And Alexander. I'm sorry. What was his last name? Alexander
Roby?
Roby.
Roby. As if is whether or not he has of sound mind. So we're here to, in part, discuss Roby and his condition, but also. I was wondering, why would we have gotten this letter? Like, what is special with Mr. Roby that, other than his apparent obsession with this King in Yellow writings?
Titus was a skeptic.
Well,
He wanted to know the unknown.
Well, I assume that it's because the Roby family handle a lot of money, possibly because of that. Now.
Okay.
As for the crime scene, I was the first medical expert who arrived there, and it was a gruesome scene, I must admit. He takes a moment to ponder. You can notice that he constantly eyes the clock. Here's a big clock on the wall. I was called by the domestic staff on the night of that Alexander's father and sister were killed. The bodies were found in the drawing room. Herbert Roby's body had been completely drained of blood from a deep cut on the upper chest. No blood from the corpse was apparent. Georgina was attacked with a very sharp instrument, perhaps a broad axe, used by somebody with a lot of strength or in deep passion or agitation. Alexander was the only one in the house during the murders. I went to talk to him and ask him if he had done it, and he couldn't explain it. He wouldn't explain, but he was in a state of hysteria and grief. Apparently, the death of his sister is the one that affected him more particularly. I could not equate with Alexander with the murders. A man of his manners, nor status, nor behavior would fit with something like this. And for what I got from the detectives, there was nothing, no physical evidence could link him to the killings, as one would do in a bloody crime. He was not held on police custody for long, and I decided to sign documentation with Dr. Charles to commit him to St. Agnes as soon as possible.
So there was no hard proof that he had actually done the deed, but you committed him anyway?
Because he could be dangerous.
How do you know if you weren't? What dangerous things had he done?
Well, the bodies were there, and he would later admit that he had how to put it? He was involved, but it will be complicated to explain. I have only seen him in two times, and it's my opinion that Alexander is still wrecked by the deaths of his father and sister. I do believe that, sadly enough, that asylums are the place to lock away lunatics to protect the rest of us, and that those committed cannot be cured, in my humble opinion.
Do you know a Malcolm Quarry?
No, I have never heard the name. Excuse me, by any chance, do you have any contact cards or anything where I could reach to you?
You can reach us at the hotel.
Okay, at the Grand Hotel. Yeah.
Yes, the Grand Hotel.
The man just stands up for a moment. There is suddenly you can hear the clock ticking behind him, like the bells ringing.
We got a hunch.
Roll for psychology.
42. I made it.
He's preoccupied with something else. There's something lingering in the back of his mind. The man just stands up, saying, I must attend some other business. I'll send you a document as soon as I can. Oh, and I'm sorry for your loss, he says to both of you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean...
One last thing, Doctor.
Yes?
King in Yellow.
What about it?
Any care to comment?
It's the first time I hear that name. And I'm very sorry about what Charles had to do. I mean, the last murder was incredibly gruesome. I'm glad you were not in the crime scene, he says.
Mr. Yates?
What? No, not Mr. Yates. Mr. Price.
What?
Mr. Price
The
was...
orderly?
Yes, Mr. Price was murdered last night.
How? What?
Charles told me there's a couple of police officers who will reach you, but you were driving here, so you have your alibi. Just to clear suspicions and whatnot. But apparently, Mr. Lucius had another one of his episodes and killed him in cold blood. He kept ranting about the
He was
devil.
in a straitjacket.
For what Charles told me, he wasn't anymore.
So Lucius killed again while we were coming back to London.
Killed
Allegedly.
Price.
Yes.
Which one was Price? The other,
The orderly who was taking note with you, the guy that Kat sent to go get her purse.
Orderlies all look the same to me. Well, that's disconcerting news. Disconcerting news.
Yeah.
You think that they would keep him away?
It was
from
locked tight. They were making sure he couldn't harm anybody. How could he get loose unless assistance?
I don't know.
Kat, did you have something to do with this? Just kidding. Just kidding.
I have to leave before tonight, he says. But I'll try to send you some documents in the morning. But I'll try if I manage to find something else.
Okay. I don't feel like we're getting very far in all this.
I'm a little shell-shocked.
What do you guys do? He guides you to the entrance of his house.
Get another hunch. That's what we're gonna do.
Another hunch? You notice that the guy, he recently arrived, but he's still wearing his trench coat. He's still like, he hasn't removed his jacket off.
I'm sorry, who hasn't taken his jacket off?
Dr. Turlop.
Oh.
Like, he's still wearing his hat, he's still wearing his scarf, he's still wearing his jacket.
Hey, he's gonna go somewhere. You want to follow him?
Oh. We'll bid you adieu then, Doctor.
Good day, Doctor.
The man just nods at you as you guys start sleeping while the sun starts going down. The artists are still doing some paintings for the couples and whatnot. What do you guys do?
Well, I was thinking maybe we'd head over there and just kind of like check out the artists, wait till the doctor leaves, and then maybe follow him. My gut tells me he's leaving.
You start walking among the artists, seeing their paintings of couples, of individuals, of the city. Caster, roll me a spot hidden.
Uh-oh. If I keep rolling really low, look what happened. 91 is that low? I spot nothing.
You still look at the paintings, and you see one artist drawing a figure, and he's using a lot of yellow, a lot of yellow. And the moment you're looking at that painting, you suddenly notice across the street that the doctor is saying goodbye to his servant. He has something put inside of his jacket, and he crosses the street to go through the park. To cut through the park.
We have both.
I see that somebody's
and a hunch.
Ooh. Okay.
The equilibrium is reached.
Yep.
Yeah. You guys follow him?
Yes. The doctor. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So first off, you're gonna roll me hide to keep a distance.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, 34.
4. Okay.
But, that's not good enough. I'm not
okay.
very good at hiding.
I sneak.
But can I use my disguise? Because
yeah. I allow it.
Okay, my disguise is 61, so.
Perfect. I'm hiding.
Okay.
20 out of 80.
30 out of an 80. Okay.
We got another despair.
Ooh, this is shit. This is gonna be
end on a cliffhanger is what everybody wants.
Yeah, this is gonna be horrible. So, both of you are following the guy at the distance. As you see him crossing this the park, heading to the area of Buckingham Palace, crossing between a section known as the Mall to Birdcage Walk. You can see that across the street there's a postal office. I mean, across the park there's a postal office, but the trees are too thick, are too big.
Holy
He's
shit.
approaching a lake in the middle of this park.
Hey, Dragons in the dining room?
As soon as he approaches the lake, something rings in the back of your brain.
The lake.
Yeah. You see a kid, a newspaper seller, getting his stuff ready. As suddenly, from the shadows of the park, you see a man with a cigar on his mouth. Rushing the doctor, bumping into him, bumping 1, 2, 3 times, pulling something out of him as the doctor tries to grab him, and running away. The kid screams as the doctor grabs his chest and falls into the ground on his knees.
Oh shit, he just got shanked.
By the same guy who was waiting for you guys.
That we
the
saw
same
at the
shady
park.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like Castor would go running after that guy. Hey, murder!
I go after the doctor.
You see to the doctor.
Okay, so both of you run for the doctor.
Thanks, Deiko.
Both of you run to try to help the doctor. He's spitting blood through his mouth. His sides are completely soaked in blood as he reaches inside his pocket and puts a piece of paper against your chest. And his closed hand is a fist holding something inside his hand. Something that's hanging by 2 ropes, as you can hear the police getting to the scene. Both of you roll sanity because you're seeing somebody dying in your hands.
I feel like I'd be running after our 29. I made it.
29. Yeah. It doesn't check you too much.
I did not make it.
Cat. Roll me. Hold on. Roll me. I'm gonna roll 1d3 to see. Shit! Hold on. Perdere. You lose 3 sanity, cat. As you're shaking, being covering the blood and the guy's blood. You're shocked. Lich, you try to follow the guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yelling the whole way, trying to get police and stuff.
All right. Roll for let's see. How much is your dexterity?
My dex,
Oh no, how much is your how much is your dexterity?
It's only 8.
8. Okay, roll for track, sorry.
Track?
Yeah. It's right under snake spotting hand, yeah.
50.
50 out of?
Yeah. So I failed that.
Yeah. You just see the guy running very fast and heading to, and waiting. I mean, you can see a taxi, a cab. The guy runs very fast, the cab doors open as he just goes inside very quickly and the cab drives away. The guy, Trollo passes away in your hands, Cat, as the police are starting to surround you.
I run back to Cat.
You run back. He hands you a letter and something that he stole from the assassin.
What did he
Oh,
steal?
really?
It's a small black figure, almost made like of bone, but it's strange. It's long, with wings and a very strange face. It looks like a whistle from an abstract form. Long-headed, his wings press against the barrel of this small object, and the letter covered in blood. Do you want to read it before we leave?
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Okay.
Hold
on. I'm gonna be copy passing certain things to the chat here. It's on page 12. The first thing you notice is it was very rushed.
Oh man, there's a long letter, but here we go.
Yeah, I'm posted here on the chat in the Zoom. Hold on.
The letter. Dear sir, I write this fast upon your leaving our meeting. I'm going to be frank. Please pardon any offense that I cause. I'm not certain of Dr. Highsmith's motives. Dr. Charles Highsmith of the asylum in this case, but I sense a curiosity in me which I've decided to place my trust. I find in myself a need to unburden myself of things that I've left unsaid. I hesitate to put these on paper, but nevertheless, I proceed. Contrary to possible appearance, I am anxious to help Alexander. His father was a good friend of mine, so I've known him since he was just a small boy. He's a decent, gentle, young fellow who has, I think, fallen in circumstance that misuse him. I will talk of my first visit to Alexander in St. Agnes Mental Asylum in June of 1927. Dr. Highsmith told me he was unmedicated and lucid, and I found this to be the case despite some periodic confusion on his part. But his conversation was odd indeed. He seemed quite unlike the young man I knew. One of the few references in our talk that I could make sense of referred to the book he authored, and upon my return to London I undertook to look at it. You may be aware that 5 or 6 years ago Alexander published a volume called The Walker by the Lake. I had never picked it up before. I believed that it would be difficult for me to digest, but though much within it was indeed bizarre or puzzling, somehow it held me. Certain words and phrases therein reminded me of Alexander's talk at the asylum, and I could see that these writings spoke to the root of his incapacity. Oddly, sections of the narrative were in German. I transcribed and later translated these passages. My second visit to Alexander was about 6 months after the first, just before Christmas. On this occasion, I found him sedated and correspondingly uncommunicative. Anxious that my journey not be a fruitless one, I thought to try an experiment. I had bought some papers with me, transcriptions of his book, and I began to read one of the German passages in that language. I'm not sure what I had expected of this. I suppose I was merely seeking a reaction of some kind. I stumbled over the phrases. I'm not skilled at languages. But then Alexander responded. He spoke the text along with me. As he did, I stopped reciting myself and tried to engage him. What happened next is difficult for me to say. He kept speaking now, and I can see he was overly excited, so I was reaching out to touch his shoulder. As I did, I suddenly felt very weak, and the next thing I knew, I was lying on the floor, inexplicably panicked. The madhouse attendant was down on one knee, giving me assistance, and Alexander stood above us. His face was old, worn, and very sad. I'm very sorry, Doctor. I cannot change what you saw. And then I remembered what that was. I will tell you that I think Alexander knows how his father and sister died, and that their deaths were a result of events involving a person, or persons using him. It seems Alexander came particularly under the influence of a Mr. Lawrence Bacon. Mr. Bacon, an antique merchant with premises in Liverpool Road, Islington, but I believe he may also be a self-styled occultist. Mr. Bacon. This information was gained at the behest of Alexander's brother, Graham, through a private detective hired in Wapping, a Mr. Vincent Tuck. I think Alexander would seek out Mr. Bacon again if released. This cultist? It bears mention that I am sure these matters had nothing to do with Alexander's courtship with Miss Hartson. No matter what you have been told. Hartson? Dahlia? Maybe? I feel that I have done the right thing in sharing what I know, although I ask you to use discretion for the sake of Alexander's family, and possibly for your own security. I urge you to read the book, and to contact me again as soon as expedient. I will tell you more of the grounds of my suspicion of Mr. Bacon if you should consent to that meeting. And lastly, I bring myself to tell you what it was that I saw in that small cell in the asylum. As Alexander spoke, I was no longer there in the cell. I was walking in St. James Park. I had just crossed the small suspension bridge to the south across the lake, and was looking along the buildings on Whitehall. I've made this walk almost every night for the last 30 years, and there I was, and everything was just as it should be. I knew it was not a dream. It was in the detail and the normalcy. The mallards setting up their noise on Duck Island, and up ahead the paperboy calling. Duck Island? The sun was setting. I reached into my pocket for my penny for the Standard, and as I did, I heard a scuffed step behind me, and I turned. A sharp-faced man, quite tall, his eyes held mine. "Keep still, please, sir," he said, and I felt a sharp pain, and then I was falling. He helped me down as I clung to him. I closed my eyes. When I reopened them, I was looking up at the sky. There was the paper boy's
sorry.
face.
There you go.
And I tried to say something to reassure him, but couldn't. And I knew no more. The Lord took me. I hope to hear from you soon. Yours sincerely, Lionel Cholo.
So he saw his own death. Who is the letter
He saw this happen.
written to?
To you. To both of you.
To us.
Yes. So, let's continue the strange road of Mr. Alexander Roby next session.
Mm-hmm.
You can pick. Now you have a couple of names in there.
Yes, we do.
Now,
Duck Island.
Lawrence. We have a bunch of things. We have Lawrence Bacon. We have the Delilah, Delilah, or whatever. Right?
Delia.
Possibly. And
Possibly.
then the St. James Park.
yeah, which is the place where he died. The place where you were following him.
Where we are right now, yes.
Yes. Now you also know there's a private detective involved in all this. And if you were to see the assailant again, you could identify him.
Oh.
And also you have whatever he had on him that the doctor took.
How many evidences did we find tonight? Because I lost track.
The main letter, the invitation letter, the transcript, this letter, the news of the family dead. There's 4.
Perhaps
Interesting.
Alexander's innocent after all.
So now we're invested, like, we might be able to figure out whether or not this was his doing at all. This crazy young man. That this was his doing.
But that's for the next game.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Thank you, everybody, for joining us for this Call of Cthulhu, the Madman. We're going to be doing part 2 in a few weeks.
And I could ask something to the people in the chat.
Sure.
Have you seen the yellow sign?
Have you seen the yellow sign?
No.
So, ooh. Yes, it says yield. Huh.
Yield. Yield yellow sign.
Caution. Proceed slowly.
So, for Alia and your expert texter joking smoking, don't you think the Joker laughs with you? Thanks for having me, Lich.
Absolutely.
Thanks for hosting us in our spectacular detective story.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Jess, what are you doing? Anything you want to say you're doing soon?
If you want to join me at the beach, we are celebrating a season of summer fun playing ukulele. So definitely join me on my channel. No troubles, just bubbles.
No troubles, just bubbles. Is that what you said?
Amen. That's the motto.
Joker, anything
That's
for you?
my philosophy.
No trouble, just bubbles.
Because I'm a masochist and because Jess is one of my players, I'm playing every single Witcher game in order while reading the books. I want to die! And also, do you want to play role-playing games like us? Are you looking for a book? Well, go to www.novelnight.com. They're doing a special sale, I think. So remember, you can go get your books there. That's where I got all my Call of Cthulhu things and where I get the things that I'm going to use in the near future to plan and scheme.
Okay. Okay. We are going to raid into Jellygato because Jellygato is the star of a show that I hear on the Liching Hour, the Apocalypse Road show. You can come check us out tomorrow night at 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern. Yes, yeah. And other than that, thank you all so much for coming out. This is super fun, and looking forward to losing myself in Carcosa and having to re-roll another character.
Stay alive and have a great weekend. In no particular order.
Jelly's playing Phasmophobia on her own.
Oh, she's gonna die.
Let the spooks continue.
So it's contextually relevant.
So
there is an asylum.
I'm gonna remove my fake skin.
Just
see you
watch
guys.
out for any pencils.
Tell Jelly we said hi.
All right. So, did you guys enjoy the game?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.